today we want to welcome a very, very special guest to our house tonight. We want to introduce Jamalia Scott. And this person that we're bringing to the floor tonight is someone extremely very special to us because she comes with banking experience, goes right into how we like to do business as far as velocity banking. And to be honest, it's with one of my favorite banks in the state of Florida. And you'll realize why it's with one of my favorite banks after she starts speaking. Jamalia, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself and tell us what you do and how do you do it so well.
All right. Well, my name is Jamalia Scott, and I am a lender with Community Credit Union. And so what I do is we find solutions for your funding. That is the easiest way to say it. We also look to find solutions for your financial situation. So we give some financial advice, but the most important thing is here we're there to kind of solve your solutions, put you in lower interest products, introduce you to a membership, a fellowship, because a credit union, we are all members at the credit union. We're not a for-profit business, but we are there to help you make your profits. And so that is what I do all day long, is we find solutions for your funding and we try to get it at a low rate, and we work as partners in a partnership. So that is what I do at the Community Credit Union.
Oh man, that is just awesome. I mean, as we met at church the other day at Pastor Stewart, I shared with you what Community Credit Union has done for me and my family. And, you know, we didn't even realize that that was even a possibility in terms of just getting access to so much credit, right? And one of the products that I want you to talk about is, for us, we use the velocity banking methods, which means that we need to have unsecured credit within our structures. And you guys offer one of the best products in America. Can you talk a little about your unsecured credit products and how do we access that as a member of the CCU?
Yes, I can. So our unsecured products, and just so a little bit of education, unsecured means basically the signature and your credit is getting you the money. So it's not secured by anything other than your credit score pretty much, and your financial ability, and your credit history. So we have many different unsecured products, but we're one of the fewer credit unions that will allow you to lend up to $50,000 on a personal loan. On just a regular old personal loan, you can get up to $50,000 for a loan. So that is unsecured. That's basically, what is your credit score? How have you paid things? And we look at your income, and that kind of tells us about how much we can give you. But very few banks will go up to $50,000 without having you give up something. Give up some sort of deed, some sort of lien on a car, a vehicle, but we will lend up to $50,000. And that is just a regular personal loan. So where else can you get $50,000? 10%, 11.25% if you want to pay on it for more than 5 years. Hardly anywhere. So that is one of our unsecured credit. But our most popular is one that is kind of secured. That is going to be your home equity line of credit.
Oh my Lord.
The home equity line of credit is a great way to tap into a financial resource, and it doesn't really cost you much to do it. At our credit union, we will allow you to do a loan for up to $250,000 on your primary residence, and there is no closing costs. So as long as you're under the 250, no closing costs if it's your primary residence. The line of credit offers you exactly that, a line of credit and access to funds. And you're not charged if you don't use the funds. So it's kind of like you can apply and get that loan for it. And then once you have it, you only pay for what you use. So imagine that. I heard the gentleman talking about trading. A few years back, we had people beating us down to get the HELOCs. Back when the rate was at the floor, They were getting our HELOCs and trading and trading and trading and trading and trading because they were making more than what the payments were. And this was
Exactly.
a great way to use this free money to make money and put
Mhm.
it back. So HELOCs are a great resource for you. They're
Mhm.
very easy to get, no
Mhm.
closing costs, and our credit union will allow you to get up to $500,000 in a HELOC line of credit on your property.
Oh, that's impressive.
What does it cost? What does it cost if you get more than 250?
So if you get more than 250, you're looking at anywhere from 2,500 to 4,000 in closing costs. But we don't make you pay that up front. Guess
You
what?
wrap it in, you wrap it in
We
somehow?
get you the line of credit and we just open up your line of credit with that balance.
Ah, okay.
So it starts out with a minimum payment is 125 a month, but our HELOC is a little bit different than most of the others in the region. So your average HELOC, and I've worked at different institutions doing this. I've been doing this for over almost 20 years now. And most institutions will give you a 7-year draw period and a 7-year payback. So that's going to be a 14-year loan. And there are some that do a 10-year draw period and then a 10-year payback. So that would be a 20-year loan. Well, those are great. But our institution actually does a 15-year draw period and a 15-year payback. What this does is this gives you access to a lot of money for a very low payment. We're averaging about $630 a month for $100,000. So that's not a lot of money. Where else can you get $500,000 for about $3,300 a month? Very,
Sign me up. I'll be visiting you soon.
please do. Because this is just a great opportunity for those that have homes that are paid off. You don't have a mortgage. And also, we live in Florida. This is
Mhm.
hurricane state, okay? This thing is a godsend for people that live in Florida because you need to have some protection for your home and you need to protect the cash in your account. And so when you get a home equity loan, we look at what your home is worth. We lend anywhere from 80 to 100% in equity. Your average bank is only going to give you about 80%, but with us, we will go up to 90% loan to value.
Yeah, Miss Scott, you better say that again. I think they missed that. That
Ah,
that
that's
that just
good.
fly over them. Don't
Yes.
don't miss that. What she say? She said 80% and higher. So repeat that again for this.
Yes.
For, sometimes they hard to hear it.
I will make sure they know.
What?
Yeah, we're an older bunch. See,
Well,
what'd you say? We couldn't
I
hardly
get-
hear you this morning.
well, looking at you said you're an older bunch, but we love the older bunch. You know why? Because you're the ones that actually have money and you're the ones that actually have equity.
That's
We're
right.
the ones
We're the
that
misfits.
you are the ones that should be using your equity to make money because the youngins don't have equity in their homes. They're paying way more for their homes than what you've paid years ago, right? And they're just starting to pay, so they don't have a lot of skin in the game. But you guys hold the wealth because you were able to buy your homes at much lower prices and they're appraised at so high. So imagine having a home that you bought for $80,000, but now your home is worth $350,000. We are in Brevard County, and I know here you can't find a home under $300,000. So if you own your home outright, you probably have about that much in equity. And we can do a home equity line of credit for you at no cost. You have access to the $249,000. And what does it take? You don't even have to have perfect credit. I did a home equity loan for a woman that had a 605 credit score.
Wow. Wow.
No.
And it's not a
Wow,
great
that's
credit score.
impressive.
And there are other institutions where I worked at where we would have said, thank you, ma'am, see you later.
Yeah.
But with the community credit union, we do something a little bit different from other institutions. We do what's called storybook lending. And that's if you can tell a good story that makes sense for you to have the money and your credit profile shows that you've paid your bills, you've not, reneged on obligations, even if you had a few late payments, you've made arrangements and made those payments. If you can tell us a story that makes sense, we can make the lending make sense for you. So for this young lady, she was had inherited a property, and the property that she inherited, obviously she didn't have a mortgage on it, and she had gotten a lot of cash. And she'd spent her cash, buying things, buying a bunch of stuff like young people do, and found herself a little strapped, paying for all the things, and her cash was getting low. So we looked at all of her debts. We looked at the property that she owned and said, okay, well, she has a low credit score, but we can give her a home equity loan because if she doesn't pay this back, she loses her property. And I'm pretty sure she doesn't want to do that. But we can take care of all her debts to give her some cash back in her pocket. So we did exactly that for someone with a 605 score. She was able to get her $249,000, which was just under the 250, so there were no closing costs. She consolidated $150,000 in bad debt that she had, and also had $100,000 left to do X amount of dollars, X amount of things with, which she chose to invest with Fidelity Advisor. And within 4 years, she made that $100,000, more than made it back, was able to pay off her entire line of credit. And guess what? She still had another 11 years to use her line of credit. So this is why we encourage you, if you have a home and you have equity in your home, you shouldn't worry about credit card debt. If you have a credit card, you should be using it and paying that off every month. But use your home that you paid so much money for. It is your nest egg. It is your retirement plan, right? Why not get a home equity line of credit on it? And we'll give you 80%, but we'll also give you up to 100% in certain instances if the story makes sense. And so I was talking with Dr. Dames a little bit about some of the ventures that you guys are involved in. Hey, do you think they're going to say no to you getting 100%? If you're investing your money in purchasing property, you're investing your money in purchasing commercial real estate, you're working with partners and creating revenue streams. These are perfect examples of people that we want to apply for the lines of credit because they're going to use the money and use it over and over and over and over again. I don't encourage you to use it for something long term, like, oh, I want to get a pool. I'm going to get the new pool. That's great. But if you use it to generate revenue for you, you can use it over and over and over and over. And again, because our HELOC is 30 years, 15 years to draw, 15-year payback, you have such a low payment. How many of you have $100,000 in debt, or have you found a loan that is $630 a month for $100,000?
Nobody.
No,
Nobody.
don't
Because
exist.
we all would go out and get it, right?
Correct.
Well, absolutely. I'll be standing in that long line.
You'll be standing in that line to get it, right? And that's basically what we offer on our HELOC. And just a little bit on how we tell how much you can get. We look at your home and what your home is valued at. How do we tell that? We get an estimate from Zillow. Zillow is not 100% accurate, but just for us to get some numbers, they're usually pretty close to what we pull on our assessment.
Oh,
We
okay.
will
So you don't do a VPO on it.
No, we do a regular appraisal.
Okay.
And by regular appraisal, it's called a desktop appraisal.
Okay.
The desktop appraisal computes a value for your home based on the home sales done in the last 5 years. So a few years ago, that wasn't so great because we had some, we had COVID sales in there, but now we're starting to level out. So we would look at from today's date, 5 years before, what homes actually sold for, and what they sold for within a certain radius of your home. So usually it's 5 to 7 miles from where you live, everything that's sold in that area, and what the average home sales price. That's what the desktop appraisal tells us. We use that and we configure a value for your home. Now, the good thing about that is with that desktop appraisal, no one's coming to your house, no one's knocking. We don't even take a picture because we use the property appraisal picture that's up there, and that's it. No one walks into your home. We take that desktop value and then we compare that to your mortgage. What do you owe on the property? So for you that owe nothing, that means we have whatever the value is, we can lend anywhere from 80 to 100% of that. For those with a mortgage, we subtract the mortgage amount from the value that we obtain. So we take the value, usually 80% is what I see most commonly for the loan, and then we subtract the value of your mortgage. So an example, let's say you had a home that was worth 300,000. You 80% of the 300,000 would be 200 and let's see if we got
40,000.
any mathematicians. Yes, 240,000. You got it. So 240,000 is 80% of what we're able to get you. And in some cases, we can give you the whole 300,000 if there's no mortgage, no liens on the property, anything like that. So we start at 240. Let's say you had a mortgage and you have a mortgage of $100,000. Then we have to subtract that from the 240, right? And so we can get you 140. This $140,000 will become your line of credit. There's no closing cost on that because it's under what magic number? See if you can.
It's under 250,000.
50,000, wasn't it?
Yes. So because it's under the 250,000, then you don't have any closing costs on it. The 140,000, if you're not using any of the money, how much does it cost you each month?
600 and zero.
Yeah.
If you're not
Cost
using
you
it.
nothing. If you're
Right.
not using
Yeah,
it,
if you're not using it, you don't.
Yeah, you're not using
just
it.
sits
There's
there.
no interest.
if you're
There's no
not
interest.
using it, it costs you nothing. Now, a little bit of backtracking. What do we know about mortgage loans? Okay. People are not getting very big tax write-offs for interest anymore. It's capped at 10,000, right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Many of us felt that pinch when it happened initially. But the
Uh-huh.
good thing with this, what if you are someone that has paid off your home anyway, and you hadn't been paying interest because your home is paid off, you just pay your taxes and insurance.
Mhm.
When you get a HELOC, the interest that you pay on it is still tax deductible. You can deduct up to $10,000. For those people that have paid off their home, you now have an additional deduction of up to $10,000 if you do use this. People don't understand that the second mortgage, which is what a HELOC is, it is a second mortgage product. It does allow for you to deduct the interest that you pay on it. You can't lose with this, especially with your model where you're using money to fund businesses. You mean to
Exactly.
tell me I've got my money that I've gotten out of my home,
Mhm.
I'm paying a minimal amount for it. Again, $630 for $100,000 I'm paying. I
Mhm.
may have taken this $100,000 and put it into a commercial or real estate investment with partners,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Interest that I pay out of the $630 a month is tax deductible to me because I took the money from my home that I own and I don't have a mortgage on my home yet. Or if I do have a mortgage, I pay so little interest for those of us that refinanced in pre-COVID and got 2%.
Yeah. Yes,
So
ma'am.
for those of us that did that, we pay so little interest, we haven't met the 10,000 mark yet. And so now this HELOC gets us more money that we can write off and it helps us with our taxes. So it's not in the million realms, but basically you're able to borrow from your house instead of your mom and dad or your parents' pension fund or your wife or husband. You're able to borrow from your home equity, take that money and make it work for you. You've created another tax deduction, which helps you on your taxes. And for those that have a home that's already paid off and haven't been getting the advantage of that write-off, this is a new write-off for you. This is something that can help you. If you're drawing Social Security, drawing pension payments, and you have nothing to really write off and you're just paying a lot of tax on it, well, this could be up to $6,500 in write-off depending on how much you borrow. Actually, you can write off up to 10. So it just depends on the loan amount that you get. This is why this thing is a no-brainer.
It is. Now, how early should someone start and partner with you? How early?
I believe that everybody that lives in the area that is governed by credit unions, I think that you should always join. Now, every credit union is not created equal. I've worked at a few of them.
Amen. Amen.
Let me tell you a little bit of reason why you should work with community credit unions. And this is not for me. This is not for me to do a sales pitch because I'm not a salesperson. I'm a person that finds financial solutions for you. And I'll do a loan for you, but I don't have to be competitive because some products are just superior to others.
Mhm.
The reason why you want to partner with a place like Community Credit Union is because you are not in a profit situation. Community Credit Union is a non-profit credit union. So our goal is not to just get profit. Our goal, if we do get profits, is to spread that across to our members for lower cost items, for better products, and higher interest rates on any products that we do pay interest on. So when you join Community Credit Union, you are a partner with everyone that is a member. And so it becomes so much better for you to be that. And it's very simple. All you need is a $10 to be a member of the credit.
Oh, that's it. That just blew it.
$5 fee, okay? $5 fee that we take for you to do the membership, and another $5 deposits into your savings account, which all members are required to have. And having that $10 account gives you access to all of the products and services that we offer. And there are a plethora of services that we offer aside from the loans that we do. It's just that the HELOC today we're talking about because that is one of the best products. So imagine having a home that you own. You have so much equity in your home and it's just sitting there. Your home's been paid off and it's just sitting there. You're doing nothing. You have a decent credit score or a not so decent credit score. You want to try some projects. You want to get into investing. You want to get into real estate and you have a home that you've paid off. We can do an application and get you pre-qualified for a home equity line of credit. That's just one product we have, but we serve everybody in the financial market. We serve that 18-year-old that doesn't have any credit and that's looking to build their credit. We have first-time buyer rates and loans for 18-year-olds that have been on a job for 2 years. We will give them a credit card and give them a $20,000 car loan. As long as they've been on a job, even if it's Chick-fil-A and they've been working 20 hours a week, we will give an 18-year-old that has had a job for 2 years a credit card, $500 credit card without putting down any of their money, and we will give them a $20,000 car loan. As long as they make the payments on time, that's the easiest loan that you can get. After people credit building, we also do counseling services for those people that have had some credit mishaps. We take your application, but we also look at your credit and say what you can do to improve it, right? So sometimes we'll have people come in and they'll want to do a HELOC, but their credit was 600. So they were going to get a 10%. And that makes their payment a little bit higher than what they would want to pay. Well, I would look at that person's credit report and say, we can make these changes and we can come back in 3 months and do it again. And then your credit will be higher.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need the money and you got to get it right now. We will actually give you the loan at the lower credit score. But once you prove that your score has changed, we will do an adjustment to your current loan to give you what the lowest rate is at the market. So that is unheard of. And we do that without you having to do another application. We just look at what you already have and we say, okay, we can see that your credit score has went from 600 to 740. And now you're eligible for the lowest rate that we offer. So we're going to do an adjustment on your loan.
Do you guys offer also any secured products as well too for individuals who have some cash but don't have no credit history and would like to do a secure transaction?
We absolutely do. This is a very important product that we have. We use it a lot for our foreign nationals that are new to the country.
Okay, hold on. Say that again, because we got some people.
Bob, it's for
we got
you.
some people outside the country.
Yes. So we do secure lending for our foreign nationals that are new to the country. And maybe they were a doctor wherever they lived, or maybe they were an engineer, or they were something and they had good money where they lived and they came to America and has a pension or something, some income, right?
Yeah.
But they're here with no credit. We have this a lot with some residents from Bermuda, a lot of nurses from Bermuda, and they're skilled nurses and some of them doctors, right? But when they come to the US, because their nursing degree is out of England, they don't accept it here.
Yeah.
So they have to kind of start fresh, right?
Yeah.
You want to establish some credit for yourself, but you've got some savings, you've got some cash. We will do a loan off of your own money.
Mhm.
And these loans are called shared secure loans. And we'll do them two ways. We'll do them off of a CD,
Mhm.
and we'll also do them off of a savings account. So the
Mhm.
example is, let's say that you want to show that you can pay a $50,000 loan, right?
Mhm.
We would take $50,000, you would put that into your savings account, and we would structure a loan for payback at a term where you can afford the payments. And
Mhm.
every month when you make your payments, we just release a little bit of your money until you've paid it all back. We report your payments to your credit history, and it shows that you have paid a loan. The creditors don't know that the loan is secured by your own cash. They
Okay.
just see a regular loan on your account. They don't know what has secured it, and they
Mhm.
see that you're having a good payment history and that you've paid the loan back. And we also provide consultation. I have a three-step plan that works for any foreign national. Within 18 months, they will have all the credit that they need to buy a home, to buy a car, to buy what you need to buy to begin your American dream here.
Mhm.
And that's starting from zero, from nothing. So,
Jamalia, that brings up another interesting question. Suppose we have a foreign national that would like to open an account in the US but not reside here. Is there something for them?
at our credit union, there is not. The
Okay.
credit union of Community Credit Union is a community credit union. It is a smaller credit union when compared to others. And some of
Mhm.
the limitations that a credit union will have is they will want you to live in a servicing area. So
Okay.
with the one with the community credit, you have to be in certain counties. So I think it's Flagler, Volusia, Brevard, Indian River, and there are a few other counties. I'll have to get you the exact ones. You do have to live
Mhm.
or work in those counties.
Okay. Okay.
Once you live or work in those counties, you're eligible for membership. If you're outside of those counties, then we wouldn't be able to open the account.
How
But the
how
other
far do
thing,
you go out? Because Mark is in Orlando,
I'm in Orange County,
you're in
Orange
Orange
County.
County, so you're good. We can open an account for you in Orange County.
so I still could come and visit you, though, right?
Yeah, you can come and visit me. We could also do it by phone.
Oh
That's the
no, I'll
thing.
come and visit you because I got to see you.
No,
You
no,
know.
We
no,
think
no, no,
it's
no. He
best.
got to come and visit us because he got to bring bread for Pastor Stewart.
That's right.
That's why he got to come and
Yeah.
visit. He can come and visit us, but he got to bring that bread with him.
I think it's important to for your first, like when you're setting your account up, I do think it's good to come in person and have a full consultation with your member service lender. This
Yeah,
way
no.
you kind of
We do a
show.
lot of business in Brevard. I do it all over the states, but we're trying to move to Brevard County. We haven't made that big move yet. We're trying to get closer to Dr. Bob, you know.
I'm
So I'm just
here.
trying to get closer to him. So because I'm like an irritation to him, and that's what I like. I'm like a gnat.
Well, we'd love to have
Bob
you.
and I are great friends. I love to irritate him. I want to sign him up for counseling because he needs it. And
Oh,
Mark, you forget I've coached thousands of people in all kinds of aspects of
I
life.
know that's why it's so funny.
this is just one of the things that's special about this credit union, just that I haven't seen, is when you're looking for a credit union, you want to find it at a certain time.
Yeah.
There's a certain time to get it in there, kind of like a guy if you're getting married, you know.
Hmm.
If you've never been married before and you get a woman that's, a little bit older, she's going to have a little ways, be set in her ways a little bit, and it could be harder to make that relationship work, right? But if you get a woman when she's a little bit younger, you can kind of like say, okay, this is my way, and maybe show her your way, and that's all she might know and go with it. Right? I use this example because we have some guys on the phone, and I wanted to make it funny for you.
Yeah.
I know Dr. Teddy Ann is like, what is she saying?
No, no, she understands exactly what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
Man,
All of this is bank related.
I
Bank
had a great
related.
question and you threw me off totally. I can't remember that. I can't even remember my question.
Dr. Bald face is red as I don't know what.
Well, we all know it's true. We all know
Oh, I love it.
for a guy. If you pick a woman and she's a little bit older and too into
Oh,
space, it can be really hard to make that relationship work.
I don't know. My wife's a
now,
lot
now
older
that I
than me.
sweated it, now that I sweated out all that stuff that you generated, I remembered my question. Is it possible to send wires from an online account? or do you have to
Yes, it
do it?
is. We
Ah,
do allow you to send wires from an online account. There
perfect.
is a limit, but if you're a person that does a higher limit, you can have that approved with us where they will send a higher amount.
What's the limit? Like quarter of a mil or 50,000 or
No, I think they'll do 1 million.
okay. Without approval? Without
The anything over 500,000 will require an approval.
okay.
So
Okay.
if you request it the day before, it could be 24
Yeah.
hours before approval.
And what's your charge for a national, local, national?
$25.
And what about international?
International is $50.
Thank you very much. It's perfect. All
Do
right.
you do besides you do commercial banking as well?
Yes, we have a commercial banking section, and I was talking with Dr. Deems about that as well. We have, not only do we have the personal accounts, but we have the business account and business lending as well. And the
Okay.
good thing about this, remember what I was saying about when you get somebody older or younger, our credit union is at the perfect stage. It's not too big. It's still small. We only have about 9 branches in this area. And what that means is there's a lot of number one, storybook lending. There's a lot of lending subject to one person to review it, right? And that person, you just have to really sell them on the idea. It's something that I see that's not really heard of in a larger credit union because as you get bigger, there's more oversight and you get closer to the federal line, and then you have to operate like a bank. This credit union is smaller. They're hungry for business because they are growing. They're not hurting. They're well placed with their assets, great loans that they give out. They don't have a lot of defaulting on the loans. So their financial scorecard for a financial institution is almost unheard of how good it is. But they're looking for more opportunity. And in the business division, we do loans in our business division for nonprofits where we don't even check the credit.
I'm
Wow.
not looking for,
Unheard of.
well, loans are okay, but with our company, we bank currently with B of A,
Mhm.
and because of our reach, I mean, we deal everything from New England to Florida, and so that's because there's branches up there that we can access if we need them. But that's not my biggest concern because I know that once capital starts really coming in, which is coming, anything over $250,000, anything above that's at risk.
Yeah. And
So
you
I
can
need
use
to
us
I need to
to
cover my risk. So diversification in banks makes I can sleep better at night knowing that my money's still there in the morning.
and you can get money from us for little or nothing.
Okay, so we can still access it throughout the US and any ATMs.
Yes. So
Okay.
with us, the way that we work is even though we're a credit union and we have smaller ATMs in our area, we have the share credit union program where you're able
Oh,
to use your debit card and any, sometimes there's a small fee, but you can use your debit card anywhere to
yeah,
take
yeah.
to take
Right.
cash out, to take cash out.
Because
You can also use it anywhere to shop. There are
we
some,
hire people that, I don't think some of the people we do hire, this may be their first job.
uh-huh,
They go out and labor out. We have an age restriction. They got to be at least 21 to drive our vehicles. However, you can still be 18 and work in a construction site.
yeah.
But some of these people don't even have a checking account,
That's
and
where you can get
that's a
them.
requisition for us because we don't write checks for payroll.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is digitally implanted, and we encourage them to have a bank account and to encourage them to grow.
One thing with us too that I like is to open a bank account is not a difficult process. We just require a 550 credit score, which that's not very high. We even open accounts for zero credit scores because a lot of our foreign nationals, they don't have a credit score yet, right?
Nothing there. Yeah.
We've got some older ladies that the husband did everything. They never had credit. They don't have a score. We have a lot of situations, but we will open an account with a zero credit score.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
I'm down in West Palm Beach. So do you have anything down here or is it just up in where you are?
We would just be up here. We don't
Okay.
have anything where you are. But you could see if you have any business that you could classify as live or work. If you
Uh,
live or work in one of our servicing counties, then you can open an account.
You mean if I, well, I mean, I work, I every now and then I'll see some clients up in the Palm Bay, Melbourne area. Does that count?
Is your business registered?
No,
It's
nope,
not.
nope.
He's a doctor, so
Yeah, but you're registered in the whole state of Florida, aren't you, Dr. Bob, with the Sunbiz?
Yeah, well, the sun, I mean, Sunbiz, when you
Yeah,
talk like,
Sunbiz. Sunbiz,
What that
it's
means
for
is Sunbiz is where you would register your business for what you do.
yeah,
Um,
I don't know. I don't believe so.
Well,
okay.
hold on, Dr. Bob. Keep that thought because that's a very beautiful thing. In order, and I'm just thinking out of the box here a little bit, Ms. Scott, go with me on a second here. But when we open up fictitious companies in other states getting access to credit unions, we only need two things. We need an address, and that can be a virtual address, and
mhm.
we need the registration for that state to certify that we have opened in that region in order to access that bank. So, Dr. Bob, you can actually do the very same thing.
Yep, because that's all I would need. I
So,
would look
so
at the business that you present me, and I would look at, is it in the state of Florida? Is it in one of our registering, in one of our servicing?
Beautiful.
well, so Dr. D, I have a New Mexico corporation.
I don't care what you got. Move it to Florida in one of the regions that CCU is occupying. That's all legal. Registered with the state. That's all legal. And you get a local address with a virtual address. That's
Okay.
all you need. You're
Okay.
done.
All right.
I'm looking up the servicing counties now, just so we can get you access.
He was thinking about moving to Melbourne anyhow. So let him
Oh, that's it.
let
I'm
him
leaving.
move.
Get an address there. Get an
Yeah.
address there. Become a part owner there.
I'm just gonna use Dr. D's address. That's what I'm gonna do.
Hey,
Also be a board member on
Gotta
a
pay rent.
company that's there because board membership is a job,
Really?
Uh-huh.
All I gotta do is be a volunteer on a board?
not a volunteer. Board
board
membership.
member.
A board
Right.
member is a job. We consider a board member a job, and if you have a job with a company located in one of our servicing counties, then you are eligible to open an account.
So you don't service Palm Beach County?
I don't
Nope.
know because
Not
we
yet.
don't.
Just get a board position if you don't want to do all the other stuff.
Yeah.
That's why, but that's the thing. The beauty is that's why we're small. That's why we can do so much.
Being
Yeah, well,
small
yeah.
means that you're flying under the radar,
Yes,
Yeah.
we are under
and
the radar.
you can help the community a lot better. I'm sorry,
Hey,
Doc.
this
I'm sorry,
community is
Pastor.
a board right now.
Yeah.
This is a board right
This
here.
is a board.
Yeah.
Hey, there you
And we have
go.
a location already, right, Dr. D?
I'm a board member, that's for sure.
We
Yeah.
just we just
You
we just
sure
need to
is.
register. We just need to register him with the state.
That's right.
Yeah. I got a my son is 19, he's 20 now, and he bought a truck. So do you do used vehicle loans?
Yes, we do. We do vehicle loans, auto loans. We also do commercial loans. So for our truck drivers that want to buy a truck, flatbed trucks, we do commercial loans.
But he's
Oh, I
also
am gonna fall in love with this lady now.
but he's also
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
he's also here in Palm Beach County, West Palm Beach. With that
Board member.
Your organization
member.
and make them a board member, make them a consultant, make them a. There's so many ways to go around this
So
thing.
what are your interest rates on used vehicles in general? The range.
So used. So this is really interesting how that works. It just depends on the year of the vehicle. For us,
2017.
so that's going to be probably, what is his credit score?
That's a 10-year view.
Well, I don't know what I mean. He's got. I don't know if he even has one yet because he's 20 and
He's still young.
and he's working full time, paying. He pays all his bills and everything. But he
So-
might have a credit score, but I don't know.
Let's say he didn't have one.
He probably has one now because he's got a loan for the truck. Maybe
Has he had the loan for 12 months?
no, he just bought it. Yeah.
So we would consider him a first time buyer.
Okay.
Because of the age of the vehicle, he would be paying about 8 to 9%. We
Okay.
have rates as low as 4.99, but
Okay.
those are for 2024 to 2026 vehicles. We consider them as new. So
Gotcha.
we have a rate as low as 4.99 and as high as 8.49. Now that's for a credit score above 740. If the credit score is lower, we can still get you in it, but the rate will be a little bit higher. It depends on how long or short you want to do the financing. With the obvious, the shorter you do the term, the lower the rate, your
Yeah.
payment will be higher.
Yeah.
The longer you do the term, your rate will be higher, but you will have a lower payment.
Right. Yeah. So if he has no credit score, is he still eligible for a loan?
We do loans for no credit score because
Oh,
remember, we'll give
yeah.
an 18-year-old with no credit that's been working on a job for 2 years. We will give
Uh,
them a loan for about $20,000.
I think he's been working for 2 years. I'm not sure. It's close to it.
If it's less than 2 years, we'll look at what he's making. Because sometimes you get an engineer that went to school for 4 years, right,
Yeah.
for engineering, but they just got the job, but they never bought anything. But we can see they got a salary of
Yeah.
90,000. We're going to give them a loan
Well,
because,
he's not in that range,
but that's okay. We just given an example. So
yeah.
let me do a working person's range. Sometimes we'll get someone out of high school, didn't go to college, right? They've been working a couple years. They're making 45,000, but they never bought a car with a signer and they don't have a credit score. That person can get a loan and they can get a loan for probably 35,000, 30,000. We try to make sure that their payment does not exceed 60% of their income.
Well, he only paid I think he paid like 17 grand max for the car, for the
Well,
truck.
they would probably get approved for that because it's under 20,000.
Okay.
20,000 is their secret number they like to throw out. So it's under
How
20,000.
long you been working for them?
So this one, I've been with them like maybe a year, 2 years.
You seem to know everything about everything. That's good.
Well, it's important to know the information. So
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
the thing. I worked for another credit union for a very long time. And I feel like, man, I was working for the wrong credit union because this one is so good compared to that one, right?
Yeah.
I wish that I was at this one first. And this one doesn't know how good they are, you know? It's kind of like, what? With our credit union, let's talk about your son for a second, who's building. We call him a person that's building credit.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any credit right now, but he's working.
Yeah.
He could come and do a membership just off having worked 1 year. I don't know what he makes, but I'm just saying, if he's worked 1 year, we could probably get him a first time buyer credit card, $500 limit. That's not much, but that's a credit card and that's going to
Yeah.
help his credit, even if
Yeah.
he never uses it.
Right.
Get him the first time buyer loan. Because he chose the 2017 vehicle, he's going to be between 8, maybe to 10% because he chose something older.
Yeah.
But he would have that vehicle and have that vehicle loan.
Right.
60 days of membership with us. We have something called Q Cash loans that we offer to our members. They're personal loans of $1,000 to $2,000. And we allow our members to get 2 of those and we don't pull any credit for that. They just get it after membership after 60 days. So your son that had no credit, right, could apply for a membership. For the $10, he would get just a savings account. But for your son, I would recommend do a $35 account because that's a savings and a checking.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we would also pay him $100
Wow.
and we would pay Mr. Devon $100 because he's
Referral fee.
telling you about that, right?
For what? He didn't do anything.
Yes,
Didn't have to. I referred him.
this meeting to refer,
Yeah.
to tell you about the products. And so if your son opened an account, Devon would get $100 and your son would get it.
Perfect.
They're now also
So
doing
he's making between 40 and 52,000, not counting overtime. I don't know where he fits in there, but
so then he wouldn't have no problem getting that car because he's making a good income.
yeah.
He would get the car, no problem. He would get the credit card, probably more than 500. I would say with that income, they probably would give him a credit card of about $1,000, maybe 1,500. They
Okay.
would give him the car loan, even though we like for you to buy things that are 2018 or newer. It
Yeah.
saves you money on your interest rate. When you buy something older, you pay more on the interest rate.
Right.
So,
Gotcha.
but he would be able to get that
Oh.
car because he has income to cover it.
What would be the year of the term, the years on the loan?
He would select that, but as a first-time buyer, we wouldn't allow him to go past 60 months, which is 5 years.
Okay.
Now, if you were not a first-time buyer, we do have financing available up to 84 months.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
People
Cool.
do it every day. I don't understand it, but hey, I'm not one to judge. People do. Some people just like to have that tiny payment.
Yeah.
So if something happens, they pay the little payment, but they double or triple their payments. But we do financing up to 84 months. And we
And
don't just finance auto loans. We do recreational vehicles. So my RV people, and let's say you have an RV and you have a membership at an RV park that you use, or you pay for an RV park spot, you can use that as your residence. So we do.
With a ninja bike.
Let me tell
that's
you.
an inside joke, but it's a motorcycle basically.
But we do motorcycles as well. We do
Okay.
motorcycle loans, RV loans, and we also do boat loans. We will,
She's on that Progressive commercial, by the way.
we'll
Pastor
even do
Stewart.
golf cart loans.
Golf cart loans.
Yeah, and we do loans off of special equipment. We call them secure loans. But let's say you've got some fine china in your closet and you know that it's worth $8,000 and you want a $5,000 loan. We will even do a secured loan off of that as long as we can evaluate the value of what you want us to do the loan on.
Amazing. Amazing. You got some great stuff going on.
This
I'm gonna have to move to Melbourne. That's all it is to it.
Oh,
residents, get a
don't
condo,
threaten me.
do a business, do an Airbnb on the beach, and make your friend here a board member.
That's right. There you go.
Okay. Now, are you done, Dr. Bob?
Yeah, I'm done. Thank you, Mark, for allowing me the time to.
Oh, you're so full of it.
Allow me the time uninterrupted, Mark. That's amazing.
Yeah. You didn't interrupt yourself this time. Good for you, Bob. So my question is, you don't handle the commercial side. Is that correct?
I do not handle the commercial side, but I do complete the applications for them. I am
Okay.
well versed in the stuff for the commercial, and it just depends on what you want.
You could be my go-to lady of all of it and just kind of point the fingers where you need me to go.
Yes, because the commercial side is a little bit differently structured depending on your company structure.
Okay.
One of the main things that they're going to want, which we all hate as people in business, the 2-year tax return.
Oh, that's
They
fine.
don't care that your business is making $200,000 a month. They care what you reported as your income after the write-offs, after Uncle Sam's part. So it's important. I always try to make that known. And with businesses, they look at the last 2 years and they average the income from the last 2 years to determine your income that's countable for that.
Okay.
But this place you want to do business loans with.
Well, yeah, because right now I have our vehicles we purchased through First Citizens.
Okay.
And we're looking at getting more vehicles, but I want to open up another entity just for my vehicles to separate it from the company. And my company is going to be leasing those vehicles. We do that for liability issues. That way, if someone gets in an accident, they're not going to come after my company. They're going to go after the leasing company, which owns nothing but the cars. And we're going to, the RS Tech will pay all that to the leasing company. So it's just kind of movement of money around. So it's kind of a protection liability for us. But
the only problem you would have with that, it's a great idea.
Yep.
But when you start the new company, that company won't have the 2-year tax returns. And so
that's what I thought.
And lending.
Okay.
So what I would do is, because when you start your other company, we don't know how you get the funds for the fleet. That's right. That's why for you, if you did a line of credit or you use your company and did a line of credit on something that it owns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the line of credit you could use to purchase the fleet.
Yeah. Okay.
And we do have, they do have fleet financing as well. So they have where you can get a line of credit. If your company owns assets, you can do a line of credit off of your company building or whatever and use it for the fleet. Because remember, that line of credit would be just like a HELOC.
Right.
But it would be owned by your company, which your company would use the funds for whatever it wanted to. So if your company chooses to buy vehicles and then title it to your fleet company now,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing we can do about that. As long as you're paying your minimum monthly payment on your fleet line of credit. So you do have options with that. Also with the business lending, they do receivables. So there's loans for that. They'll do line of credit for purchasing. So if you don't want to do it like if you don't have a commercial property, some businesses or manufacturers really, they have a line of credit that they do and they have it for operating because that's important. Sometimes you got a factory, you still got to keep people working 40 hours a week, right? But you're not really selling in that season. Maybe you're doing something else. You still have to have the money to cover the operating costs and things like that. So
Right.
we do have line of credits that we offer for that for our business services. And those they do make you redo them once a year. So not a credit pull every year, but just a recertification. Say, okay, what did your business make this year? Last year we gave you 3 million for this. This year your business did double the business, so we're going to give you 6 million this year. But that is unheard of for other institutions, and they have.
That is unheard of because that's kind of like a workman's comp policy. We got to do every year we have to go because payroll changes and all this
Mhm.
changes, and it goes up or down or whatever. And that's interesting because it can help you get through the leaner times. Or when like us, sometimes it's lean because my customers ain't paying me, and it's like,
So that would
my
be
bills don't stop coming.
that would be a receivables account, which they do
Yeah.
line of credit for receivables. We do this a lot for our doctor offices, because, we know they're going to get paid for the service because the person came there and saw the
Mhm.
doctor and the insurance card was swiped, but they're going to take 90 days to get those payments in.
Right.
So they still have to keep seeing people for 90 days until they get paid. We have line of credit that we have in place for that. And then those are not based on any assets. That's based on, let's look at your company books. Let's see what your company
Okay.
made last year. Let's
Okay.
see what your office made. And then we'll look at that and we will come up with a line of credit that serves your business and we can use it for that year. And then we do a reevaluation. I have never, ever seen that in any credit union or any
I
bank.
haven't seen that in even a bank. And we
You won't
bank,
see it in
like
the
say,
bank.
I bank with Bank of America. They won't even loan us the money to buy the vehicles.
No.
And I got $180,000 worth of vehicles, and they get mad at me. So why'd you go to First Citizens? I said because you guys won't give me the money, so you guys lost. And they don't know that I'm still looking because I don't like to deal with banks like that. But also, I want to deal with a bank that I don't have to put my personal guarantee on it because
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my name away from it, total anonymity, because I want the company to stand on its own. I'm just a guy who writes all the checks. I'm the
You're a
CEO,
member manager, we call that. Member
member manager, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And that way there, I don't want if I sign it with a member or manager, I'm not piercing my corporate veil, and I'm not making myself liable. So
So what I
that's
do like about our business accounts, and this is not all of them, but in some instances, when you do a business account, they always have to have a personal guarantor, right? So you would want to be sure to apply for the business loans that did not require you to be the personal guarantor. There are some. Now, those receivable accounts that I talked to you about that we do for the doctors and everything, which your business would qualify because it sounds like you have some type of truck driving.
no, we're a tech company.
You're a tech company, so your
We're a tech
drivers are
company.
doing
So
what?
we do, yeah, we service our customers. So we're like, we go into the banks, we do everything from um, music all the way up to cybersecurity to IT systems to network. So we'll do
Okay.
everything in between that has to do with technology.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we do. And we service our customers. So it's great because you're not waiting on somebody on the other end. It's like, well, let me see if Jilly Bob Smith is ready to go. And no, we'll dispatch our trained technicians to your site because we know your business is important and it needs to be up and running. So that's the model that we have. And we operate in New England and in Florida. And our basic right now, we're on track to hit the lower 48s within the next 3 years. And the next 10 years will be global.
So it sounds like you need a personal banker, Mark.
I ain't look, I'm not playing.
Yeah.
And we started in 2019 during COVID. Our
Mm.
first year in business, we made $190,000. This just me and my brother and my wife and two techs working for us. This year we're on track to make just a smidgen over $1 million with no sales staff.
So your business is the type of business that could greatly benefit from our small credit union, right? Because we're looking for businesses like you to fund. We don't want to fund another hairdresser with 5 people in there.
No, I'm
What
not
we
gonna
you
hairdresser.
know what I mean? But the point is that sometimes when you're a smaller credit union like that,
Yep,
right, you get smaller businesses, which is nothing wrong with that. But the credit union is looking to work with people actually making capital because we want to see them take the capital that we have and make more with it. We want them to house those accounts with us, right? And we
we
want to make that good for them. But we are smaller than Bank of America. And since your company spans two different, states, you have a need to operate in business with a federal bank. But that doesn't mean you can't leverage off of us and
that's
you
right. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket.
I would not put them all
And I
in.
don't like that feeling of it because I like to make sure my money is secure. But we're in a position that we're actually doing research and development,
Hmm.
and we are writing our own software. We got a software engineer that works for us now, so we are heavily integrated into the cyberspace, and we're actually beginning into writing our software that it's going to be impenetrable for anybody, especially like banks, because we're using a cryptocurrency style crypto for it's kind of complicated, but you can't break into a blockchain.
No.
There's no way you're going to break into it. We're going to use that same technology into our cybersecurity platform. So banks, finances, Dr. Bob, when he has his privileges for his clients, that's important that that's be safeguarded because of the HIPAA law. You know, that's nothing because if he gets hacked and that stuff, he can be very liable for information, just like Devon
Just
with
like we can at the bank.
absolutely. So this is why we decided that we're going to put a different spin on it, on what we're creating. So we're spending money on our own company to create a
But
better
it would be good
product.
for you to leverage some of the assets that you have within the company and to get some funding from that instead of spending your money. Because wouldn't it be good if you could take the money from your company and let's just let that make more money?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And
And
then
that's
you
where
can
we have to
leverage.
come up with a strategy because there's times I don't get paid because I want to make sure my employees get paid. So
Yeah,
that's the privilege of doing business.
we have to stop that and get you paid, right? And figure out how we can. The other thing too with our credit union is because we are so small, if you did do a membership, you do get a business analyst that they come out and they look at your business. They look to see where they can provide improvement, right?
Okay.
But they just do kind of like a report and say, hey, we
Right.
looked at your business. We noticed that you were paying this for payroll and we know of this. These are some other options that you can use for your payroll. We noticed that you paid this much in taxes, but when we reviewed the taxes, because it's part of the loan, they would want 2 years prior
Hmm.
tax return. So they'll look at that to see where they find holes, to see where they can help you. So the support is good. And we also support your business by advertising. So we have a small business spotlight that we do. And so that goes out to all of our members. So I know that we're a smaller credit union, but any advertisement that's free, it's good. In our small business spotlight, we allow you to talk about your business, what you do, or you can pick a representative to do it, or you can get with the marketing department and have us put it together and act it out. We do have some businesses that do that because they want anonymity with respect to the owners, right?
Sure.
So we have all of that in place because if businesses align with us and they win and they make more money, what does that do for us? That gives us a positive impact in the community. And that's why we are a community credit union because we want to show that we are working with other businesses in the community and we are making them more money.
Let
And
me put this twist in there.
yeah.
We offer, some of our clients cannot come up with some of the monies that would take for us to put the system together. So we would build a project, like I've got one going up north, and the project is like $250,000. Is this possible that you guys can offer like a loan system for these clients, or do they have to be based in this area like we had with Dr. Bob?
They will have to be based in this area for me to help them, right?
Okay.
But
So
one
you
of the
have to be in
things,
this local area. You couldn't do anything in Utah if I needed something.
Hey, Mark,
I couldn't.
register your fictitious business in the region, get a virtual address.
Yes, because that's the way around it.
Tell your clients to move their location to a fictitious company here and to get a virtual address. That bypasses all of that.
Yeah, because we just require you to live or work. And that or work part is the easiest thing.
Okay.
And if we can access those people that are unable to get the full funding for your projects, but we could get them the funding for their projects, it's very, very helpful. One of the things we have a lot of people that live in Florida, but they don't really, this is not their primary residence. Term snowbirds. We have a lot of those, right? So they live in New York, they live in Chicago, they live in California, and that's their main place of residence, but they have a home in Florida. We still allow them to use our services as snowbirds because they own a home here too. And so it's their home when they're away, and they're able to access all of our things. The only way where they are limited is with our home equity line of credit product. We can only do it on the home they own in Florida. Now, it doesn't have to be in our servicing county. So you can work in Brevard County and have a home in Miami. And we'll do the HELOC on your home in Miami.
But Orange County is your servicing county.
Yes. Because that's how a lot of my larger loans are people that they moved from Miami to Brevard County. They moved here when the tax law changed, when you can't write off more than $10,000, right? But they kept their home in Miami because they're renting it out and somebody is happy to pay for it, right? So for those people, we can do a home equity on their home that they have in Brevard County, and we can also turn around and do it on their home in Miami too. Because we do allow you to do a home equity on more than one property. There is a requirement to have a small mortgage on your second property. We won't do a home equity line of credit on that. And then for people that are afraid, because one thing I didn't mention about the line of credit options is that the rate is variable. What that means is the rate follows the prime rate. So it's whatever the prime rate is minus 0.25% for
On the HELOC?
Yes. And that's for those with a 740 or better credit score.
Okay.
Well, the good thing about that is when the rate comes down, your rate comes down, right? But the bad thing about that is when the
Rate goes up.
your rate comes up. And so sometimes the rate goes up and it will put the payment in uncomfortable for the member, right? But because we are a community credit union and we don't want to take your home, we will look at your loan and put you in something fixed that has you in a nice payment where you're not getting more debt, but you went to something fixed.
Okay, good.
And
So
I
you
didn't
work with
talk
people.
about this earlier, that we have two ways that you can borrow from the equity in your home. We talked a lot about the home equity line of credit because I like that model so much, because if you can have it and not use it and don't have to pay anything, and you have it for 15 years, right? So that's what makes that very attractive, because you have this pot of money that you have access to for 15 years if you need to use it. But we also have what's called our fixed second mortgage. The fixed second mortgage will allow you to take a bulk of money and pay it back at a fixed rate. You choose your term. So we have terms of 5 years all the way up to 30 years. This is the one I see people do a lot for that pool. I really want to have a pool now. It was COVID and we were stuck in the house, and we would just feel better if we have a pool to go and take a dip in, right? Pool's 80 grand. Okay. But if you can get a second mortgage for 80 grand to build your pool, that pool's going to cost you $200 a month. And you'll have it in the privacy of your home, maybe 250 a month. I'm just throwing a number out here. I didn't do a calculation. But people like that because they get the money, they get it at a fixed rate. It's a little bit higher than their mortgage, but a lot better than a credit card or a personal loan. And it gives them the lump of money right then. I don't like that product for a couple reasons. I'm getting money and I'm throwing myself in a fixed payment. I'm throwing myself in a fixed payment that could go lower if the Wall Street Journal Prime goes down and I was in the other product, I would have a lower rate. This locks me in into a rate that could be higher, right? The good thing is I do have a fixed payment. So if I'm on a fixed income, maybe that's what I want, right? But if I've got income that's coming in, I'm not fixed. I've got 3, 4, 5 streams of income. Do I really care about having a fixed payment at a higher percent? No, because I'm going to pay my payment. It's a matter of, am I getting an interest rate that is competitive to what's out there in the market? So that product is a safe product. I like to say that's for my grandmas. That's for my widows that found out their husband had a lot of debt and he died on. And now they're stuck with it because they signed and didn't know what they signed for, right? That is something that I would put a widow in so that she can pay back this at a nice low rate. But a bad husband if he didn't leave her a life insurance to pay that off. But it happens every day. So that's the type of loan that I see people getting in. I also have some traders that want to get a big sum of money and they want it at a fixed rate. So they'll do the 5-year because it's fixed at 6.49 and they'll pull out $500,000 on a 5-year because they know as soon as they put that $500,000 in something, they're going to buy something that pays them more than what the payment is, and it won't take 5 years to pay them off. So we have some people that do that, very few, but there are people that are knowledgeable and skilled in that area, and they use the funds for that.
Excellent, excellent.
That's
Jamalia
great.
Scott, thank you so much, man. You have given us so much
I-
information. Go ahead, Mark.
Could I get your information, your contact information, and how I can schedule an appointment?
Yeah,
with
I'll give you all of that, Mark.
Oh, you got it. Okay, great.
Yeah, I got it. Oh no, we can't let this woman go unless we
Oh,
have
no,
all-
no. I'm going to be speaking with her this week, probably midweek.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be going down to, I
My
can't
card
see
right
that.
here.
Okay. Yeah, hang on. Yeah. And
Jamalia, thank you so much for taking your evening. Sorry for interrupting your meals with your family, but my God, this was something that we truly needed in our community here tonight. Is
Mhm.
there anything, we're going to give you the last word. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you wanted to talk about, or anything that we should know about, or something along those lines?
Well, I would have to say we covered a lot tonight. I think that we covered a lot. And I think just remember you have to be in our servicing area, but you can create that.
Exactly.
He was saying you can create that by creating your fictitious account with a Florida address. They don't check for a physical address, you know. We just check Sunbiz to see that it's in our servicing county. So I would to spend $120 or whatever to do that, and then to be able to have access to a membership for $35, and then you have a property or something in our servicing county that we can do a line of credit on, especially if it's free and clear. I do want to mention one thing. If your property is free and clear, meaning that it's your main home, you don't have a mortgage on it, we have a crazy policy right now. You are responsible for the closing cost. So I say that so you know that if you have a small mortgage on it, or if you're about to pay it off, do the home equity loan before that so that you won't have the closing costs. Even if you're going to use the home equity to pay off your mortgage. Just don't tell us that. Or if you tell me, I will tell you, I would not pay it off until I've gotten the loan, and then you can use the loan to pay it off so you don't have to pay the closing costs.
Excellent, excellent. Jamalia Scott, we certainly gonna have you back on another session, because I am certain this haven't all sank in yet to everybody who's listening to us tonight. But thank you, thank you, thank you. We can't wait to have you on another session. Guys, do you want to say anything to Jamalia whilst she's here?
Thank you. You are a plethora, like Dr. Bob says, of knowledge. And I have to agree with that. You are very knowledgeable, and we will be doing business with you. So this week, hopefully, if our schedule permits it, my wife and I will be going down there, and we'll be pulling the HELOC on our home. I just looked at Zillow. We're worried about 450,000 on our home.
Well, you're good then.
Oh yeah, we only owe like 110.
So yeah, you can.
110, 120. We got plenty of equity. So it's time to capitalize this, make our house our own banking system. And
So you can use that for your business, write off that, and
yes.
then let your business pay it back, and you get the tax write-off.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, all the
I have a CPA in New York, in White Plains, and he's been telling me the same thing. So it's time for us to move together, and we will make some time as soon as I get your information from Dr. D. And thank you so much. It was my pleasure and my honor to have you. This is awesome.
My pleasure as well. Thank you so much, gentlemen and wonderful woman of God.
So I have a question, please. One question, Jamilia. This
Yes,
is Chantel. Do you have to pay dues on your membership for the credit union?
you do not pay dues. And
Okay.
I've got to get with you because I keep missing you. We've got to get your
Yeah, I'm coming down there. Yeah, I gotta come in person. Yeah. I have some stuff to talk about. Yes.
Okay, so you don't pay membership dues. All you pay is when you initially join, there is a $5 membership fee for the first time that you join. And then you have to put at least $5 in your savings account.
Okay.
But what I recommend for most people is to have the $35 so that you can do the checking account right now. Do the checking account in addition to the savings account. Oh, I forgot. There is something I didn't mention, and I have to say this. For those of you that are like self-employed and you don't have any IRA or retirement account set up, we also will set that up for you at the credit union, and you can contribute at your own when you have it. And we also offer, of like any bank, we do offer CDs, but for people that have not been saving for retirement, we offer a Roth IRA and regular IRA accounts that you are able to contribute to, and we can also provide you with services on what you can bring in. And again, all you have to do is be a member with us to have access to that.
I see. Do you match it? Like,
We don't match it. We don't match it because
Okay.
what we're doing is there's so many people that work jobs, right? And their job doesn't have a retirement for them. Their job doesn't have anything set up for them for retirement. It's for those people that we want to let them know that you don't have to depend on your job to do that. You can come into a place like us and we can set up a plan for you where you can save for your own retirement. And I mean, you can even do it for your kids. I do it for my kids. I have a savings for them because I know they're young right now, and so when they start working, you can take the money that they make and put it in a Roth IRA. That way, if they need it later, they don't have to pay any tax on it if they have to pull it out. But you can put it in that Roth IRA and get a tax write-off for them. You can match what they've put in there. It's just an easy way to save. And you can also do it for yourself because more and more, a lot of companies are getting rid of their retirement plans. And so what we're trying to encourage people to do is to not depend on the company to match you to retire, but to look at your income and decide what you can put aside for your retirement, even if it's $1,000 a year, right? Divide it up and open up your own account and put it there. And we will help you manage it. You open up an account, you start with that. Once you get $1,000, you can move it into CDs that make more money. We don't make as much as a managed portfolio would make, but something is better than nothing. And so we want people to put that in their hands. Put it in your hands. Everyone can do $20 a week.
Good
I let
information.
one lady do 50 cents a day because that's all she could afford. But guess what? She had a retirement. So that's important. And we want to let people know we have those services, but there are no monthly fees. And right now, if you open a checking account, they're giving away a cruise.
What? Oh,
Oh, don't tell it to my wife. She'll sign
coming
up right
down.
now. They're giving away a free cruise.
If
Wow,
you
that
open up
sounds
a
good.
checking account, there's some requirements. You just have to open up a checking account and have a direct deposit into that account. I think it's $1,000 a month. So for people getting Social Security, those things. If you open up that account with that, they are giving away a cruise, and the cruise is good for two people, a 5-day cruise. You can go from anywhere, any of the ports in the US. It is through Royal Caribbean. So they're giving that away for opening a checking account with direct deposit. So that's my last tidbit. I promise. I promise. I don't want anyone to miss out on the cruise if they want it.
Man, when we think you couldn't go any deeper, you just pull these nuggets from nowhere. Hold on a minute
That's
now.
a good one. That's a good
You
one.
know?
Well, she went fishing. See, she already got us sunk in. Now she's just bringing it in.
Now she want to send you on a cruise. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Man, Mrs. Scott, thank you. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart to yours, mi casa, su casa. And that's going to end our show tonight. Thank you. Thank you.